call. It's a funny thing, nobody knows.
So it's not only me.
No, it's real common.
Actually, when I sleep on my back is when I have nightmares.
The food? No, I mean,
The feta
And if I
cheese.
eat, forget it. If I eat before I go to bed, I dream all night long.
me too.
Well, that's because you sleep less deeply, your stomach's doing this, so when you wake up, of da-da-da-da-da-da. I mean, but the answer that you gave us during break was that you feel like that in certain work situations where you get overwhelmed with how scary it is. I mean, that's really all you need to say, if that's right.
And then you're going to pick
Right?
it up from there.
And then I'm going to pick it up from there. We're going to go to who else's dream? Let me see who else's dream. Da-da-da-da. Oh, we've got your Ryan dream. That would be very nice in comparison to Monica's dream. Okay.
Mary's dream.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Can I touch on the exam one?
We'll come back to it. Okay. So you're just trying to help this poor dreamer out. You're not
Okay.
performing for anybody else. You're trying to help her out and get some energy going.
Okay.
Okay. We're ready to roll.
Okay, why don't you, yes,
Okay.
we're ready to go. Go ahead and take a 5 count and then go ahead and start.
I'll count 5 and then I'll ask you, okay?
Okay.
So Kathy, why don't you ask Marie the next question?
Okay, Marie, so there you are. You're helpless. You're trying to struggle and get something out, but you can't. What in your current life that's going on that's similar to this?
Well, it was the sale of my company, the closing was out of control. And the attorney made a $300,000 error that came right off the bottom line. And a couple of other things happened, and the guy is a complete wacko, and it was out of my control. And, I mean, if this didn't work out, he had the power to destroy me financially, and there's nothing I could do about it. So yeah, I was really scared. Come to think, I never realized I was that scared. But I mean, this was like, bankrupt potentially.
Okay.
So
Good.
yeah,
Good work,
that's
Kathy.
Thanks.
Good work,
Yeah.
Kathy. It takes some people like 6 to 8 months to get good at this.
Okay.
You're doing real well.
Thanks.
That's
I was
great.
a little nervous I wouldn't get the right response.
You got to let the dreamer go where she goes. Okay, well, that's great. Actually, I think you had another dream. Somebody who's having lots of dreams of being scared, I can't get the voice out, usually has another recurring dream. It's an examination dream. Can you tell us that dream?
I have another dream I've dreamt a long time, and it's always exactly the same, where it's not like I'm enrolling in school, but I've got 1 semester left to finish school at the end. And I'm not going to go to class because I hate class, I don't need to go, and I'm just going to show up for the exam and I'll pass. Well, the semester goes by, and I show up for the exam, and the setting is always my 6th grade school in the dark hallway as I remember it. And I'm looking for the classes, and there are classrooms with students in them, and I'm looking, and I cannot remember where my classrooms are. And so I never do go to the classrooms, and there's never an end to the dream. And the ending is always, I'm looking, and I just can't believe that I can't remember where the classrooms are. And then I'm getting a little worried because I'm not going to pass the semester. But the primary feeling is I can't find these classrooms.
Okay.
And that's the dream.
That's a form of the examination dream where you're about to be tested, and for some reason you're going to fail. You haven't prepared, you can't find the class, you don't know the language, you can't read the paper, it goes out of focus, terrible things happen. So what you have to do is look in the plot of the dream. What caused the problem? Okay, what's your problem? Is it that you didn't go to the classes and you thought you'd just get by? Is that part of the problem or not?
The problem is that I couldn't remember where the classrooms are.
Okay.
What room am I supposed to go to take the test?
If you had been going to class during the semester, would that have made a difference in your ability to remember where the classes are?
I'm sure not.
Okay, so is there any habit you have in your life, since this dream comes up now and then, where you try to skip the classes, come in for the kill, and then you don't have all the preparation that you need to be there and get there?
Yeah, that is definitely one of my major weaknesses. I'm very bad about thinking I can just do whatever I want to do and wing it, because I tend to do that anyway, and always kind of call it a pile of shit and come out smelling like a rose. And that always happens to me that way. And procrastination is something I've had years and years. I've had to work with that. And, so yeah.
Okay, so your dream's showing you a pattern that you've got that gives you anxiety. You get away with it sometimes. Sometimes you get away with it better or worse than other times. And then you get to look at that pattern. Oh, there, I'm doing it again. The dream will come up early, usually before the test, before the thing that you have to manage in your life that's like a test. And then you say, okay, I'm doing my game again. Do I want to keep doing it this way, or do I want to do it a different way? It may be okay for you to do it as you've always done it, and you're willing to deal with that level of anxiety. Or you may choose to modify how much you prepare for something. And you get to answer those questions. But the dream gives you the option. Hey, here we are again. You're going to be in hot soup soon. Okay. All right, does anybody else have the examination dream? No? A test, you haven't gotten there for the test. People who live high-stress lives tend to have it a lot. Deadlines are coming up all the time. I'm sure a lot of the producers have this examination dream. Okay, now let's see who else's dream. You had a dream about a child.
I had a dream about my son.
Okay, you want to tell it to us?
Yeah, I think the thing that troubled me the most is that this is a new dream. It just happened last week. And what happened is, no matter how many times I woke up during the night, I could go to the restroom, I could go down to the refrigerator, I'd come back to bed and I'd have either the same dream or a continuation of it. And I have a 17-year-old son, his name is Ryan. And I dreamt that I was in the kitchen area of a summer home that was overlooking a beautiful woods. It was just lots of windows. And I was packing the summer home. I was going to go back with my husband to our regular home. We don't own it anymore. And the sheriff came in, and I was very distraught because I thought something happened to my son. And he came in and he said, "You're right, he was murdered." And he was just about to tell me exactly how, and evidently there was torture involved. And I said, "Please, I don't want to know. Please don't tell me." And at that point, I woke up crying, got up, walked around the house a little bit, came back to bed. I had the same dream over again. And my husband was there with me while they're telling us this. And got up again. And tears running down. I was crying in my sleep. And in the final dream, it was like several months later, my daughter and I were at a family wedding. My husband and I, all three of us were there. And my husband and I were sitting off on the side, and most of the people were on the dance floor in a circle, and they were all saying, "Just look at Dad. Is she ever going to recover? Will she ever get over this?" And people were taking turns walking up into the middle of the group and dancing. They were doing almost like a dance contest, two at a time. And my daughter walked out of the group and came over, and she held out her hand, and she said, "Mommy, please." And I said, sorry.
All right.
And I said, certainly it's time to put this behind us, isn't it? And we walked out into the middle of the floor, and we started dancing, and I started crying. And we just stood in the middle of the floor, hugging each other, crying, and my husband walked out and said, and it ended there.
And how do you feel now as you tell it?
Scared.
Scared of what?
Losing my son.
You're afraid that this dream might come true.
Definitely.
Okay. Let me tell you, it's very unlikely. People hardly ever have dreams actually come true. They think it's sort of close, but these dreams are really about your life now. So let's look at it. Just don't worry about that for a minute, all right? This dream is another metaphor, most likely. And tell me, the dream in short, the general term of the dream is that you have a son named Ryan, and in the dream you find out that he's been killed, maybe tortured, and you feel just terrible. Okay. Tell me, for the cameras this time, tell me your dream just in that one short version, without all the details.
Okay.
What recurs, the recurring theme.
The recurring theme is that I have a son named Ryan, and he's 17 years old, and for some reason he's missing. And I, in my heart, know he's missing.
Okay.
And I am informed that he has been murdered in hospital.
In your heart, you already know this. Okay. So we've got a lot of emotion in this feeling, but what we have to do is look at what's in it. We've got a person, Ryan. Okay? So tell me, who's Ryan? What's he like?
He's one of my favorite people. He's funny, he's intelligent, he's tall, he's handsome. A little to himself sometimes. He doesn't understand all of it. He plays football. He's the kind of son that every mother is proud of.
Okay.
And he's my best friend.
And he's your best friend. Okay. So the person you care about in this dream that you're worried about is Ryan, who's intelligent, tall, handsome. He's your best friend. A little bit to himself because he's so intelligent?
Mhm.
Anything else you want to say about his personality?
Oh, just very funny,
Okay.
quick wit.
Okay. If you were to lose Ryan, you would lose what qualities? Thanks.
Probably all the joy.
Okay. Okay. So, is there any way in your life where you have been seeing the torture and the loss of any part of yourself that has high intelligence, wit, humor, and is your best friend, and if you lost it, you would lose your joy? Is there any part of yourself like that, that it gets tortured and killed off?
Probably, there's two ways that I think of this. One is that Ryan is very close to being senior high school and leaving it. So that could be part of it. The other side of it is that I have started acting, and I do community theater acting. We think it's great, but
Yeah?
it's my expression. It's something that I haven't been able to do. I create characters. I'm a character actor, so I create these wonderful multidimensional people, and I have great pleasure in it. Well, I got laid off from my job in May, and because of that, I have been able to do this more. It's too hard to work full-time and try to pursue this. And because I'm not working, I'm able to do these things. But I guess the real fear is that I'm denying my family financially, because I did make a very good salary when I was working. And I think I'm afraid that I'm going to have to go back to work.
Okay, let me ask you this. Your first concern is that maybe this dream has to do with Ryan growing up and leaving home. Would that be something you would experience as his being tortured and killed?
No.
Okay.
No.
So that probably doesn't, that bridge doesn't test to be real strong.
That's correct.
Okay, let's put that aside. Let me ask you is there a part of you that's like Ryan? Do you identify with Ryan?
Oh, very much so. We did a play together this summer.
How do you identify with him? What characteristics do you share?
Our
Sam.
wicked sense of humor. We are very funny.
Okay, how about
We're all
intelligence?
deep. I'm intelligent.
I know it's hard to say these things, but you
Yeah.
have to. If it fits, it fits.
No,
So say it.
I'm very intelligent.
Okay, so you're intelligent. Are you funny? Are you sometimes off to yourself because you're in the way he is?
Sometimes I can be very deep.
Okay. And so is there a way that you've been living a life where you've been letting, basically in waking life, the part of you that's like Ryan be killed off?
Yeah, by trying to put myself, I was a director of personnel, so by putting myself into an environment that was very structured, where I wore a suit, and I had this image to keep, and I couldn't be this zany, kind of off-the-wall person that in my heart I really am.
And in your life during that period in general, were you killing off the joy?
I believe so.
Okay. So does that fit?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. So now, now it's amazing how things go. Would you now do your own summary of the dream and tell me how you understand it?
Okay. I had a dream in which probably the best parts of my personality were being squashed or destroyed.
And you described Ryan as
And
how?
I described Ryan as funny and smart and real sense of joy
And intelligent.
and intelligent,
Which reminds you of?
and which reminds me of aspects of me that I kind of put behind me when I put myself into a structured environment.
Okay. In the dream, and I'm checking the bridge out to see if it's strong. In the dream, you don't just put it behind you. In the dream, you find out he's been tortured.
Yeah.
Have you tortured yourself before you killed off this part of yourself? Do you torture yourself?
Oh yeah, and there's guilt involved, and that I am now pursuing this part of my life, and I am hurting my children by not giving them financially what they could have had.
Okay. So they get a happy mom or they get a rich mom?
I think they prefer the happy mom.
Okay, well, remember that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's neat. Wasn't that interesting to watch?
Really good.
Aren't you glad?
Oh, I'm so glad. I mean, I was devastated. And, I ran in his bedroom. I'm like, wake up, hug me.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, Mom, you're goofy.
Very, very often, your babies are a part of you. Not always. Sometimes you're really dealing with the issues about your kids. But it's real often, it's that part of you that's like that particular child. You could have dreamt about about Elizabeth, but you didn't. You dreamt about the qualities in Ryan that are getting tortured and killed. Okay, so anytime you have a dream where somebody's dying and you're afraid it's going to come true, relax. Hardly ever is the case. It's possible, but it's pretty rare. First, see if there's more meaning by asking yourself the questions about this person who happens to be your child or your Patrick, you know, your imaginary child. And is there a part of you like that or somebody else? It's usually a metaphor, and usually it's that part of you.
I never thought about it, but yeah.
You see,
When
it's her
just
dream
said
real
that
clearly.
Patrick, that he is, because actually my nickname is Penny, so it would be a P. And I just made that connection, that Patrick is probably me as a child. I used to be shy.
Oh, and you used to be shy.
That was a long time ago. But that Patrick is probably more likely me. Because when I look at him, I'm like, I love him so much, he must be myself.
Okay, so how do you understand your dream now?
So I don't know what I'm going to do, but
What do you understand the dream first?
I think I understand it better because all this time I'm thinking that, like she was thinking that somebody's going to kill her son. I'm thinking my mother's going to kill me. That's what it is my mother or somebody in my family close to me is going to hurt me. And I guess it's nothing like I thought it would be. It's just really like it was like my mother's just trying to hold on to Penny. And now that I'm all grown up and I'm married, that I'm trying to let her know that, let go of her and let me be married.
Yeah.
So I think I'm just going to have to face her.
Yeah, looks like it.
I'm going to have to face her. I think maybe I'll give her Patrick because she only will try to kill me when I try to not let her have it.
But Patrick is yours. Would it be right to give your child up to your mom?
No, I don't want to.
Okay, and you want to find a career, you want to find your productive output, your creative stuff in life. Would it be right to give that up to your mom?
No, because
Nah, you're paying her
have
off.
to face her.
You can't pay her off with, here, you take Patrick, I'm out of here. It won't work.
Okay.
Can you see how it wouldn't work?
Yeah, I see, because then I'll be back where I started.
Right. You still won't have any direction, any sense of your own production. So you just got to deal with her.
So I just got to face her.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Pretty good.
To me, Mary's dreams go back to accountability, self-accountability. The mom, career, asking other people for directions, letting your mom still kind of control your life. Not control necessarily, but, impact it. And it all kind of ties into that she needs to have total accountability for her own life and do what she wants to do.
That's
Okay.
very true.
Do any of you notice the patterns in each other's dreams? And we've only been doing this for 3 days.
Strange you should ask that because I was just sitting here.
Yeah?
I was listening to each one of our dreams, and it appears that we have all held, we've sort of inhibited ourselves by holding on to these destroying elements where we're hurting ourselves. She is avoiding giving in to her mother. I wouldn't say avoiding because she's an adult, she has to give in. But there's that conflict. She has trouble getting rid of the negative men in her life, and that's been a long, ongoing situation. Doug has been trying to lose weight for a period of time. Is that why we have, I guess basically what I'm saying, is that why we keep having the bad dreams? Because we're not dealing with it?
Yep, you
And
got
when
it.
well,
Our dreams help us to
will
live.
we stop dreaming?
No.
Bad dreams?
Yeah, you'll have much sweeter dreams. Well, let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase that for a second, though. Do we have dreams about conflict?
Okay.
Because, that's what you mean, conflict. If they're useful dreams, and that's a good point, they're not bad. And conflict resolution. You got lots of resolution going.
Good.
Because there's a conflict in your life, you may not even recognize ways you're holding yourself back, ways you're giving yourself negative pictures about going into the job market again. And so your dream says, look, you're wimping out on this part of your life. Let me show you a clear mirror here. This is what you're doing. If you want to stand up to what you're afraid of, or what you're afraid of in a general sense,
Okay.
then you can make a change here. Does that answer your question?
Yes, and it seems it's applicable to all of us.
Yeah.
You know, if we let go or start doing, then we can move forward.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
big difference.
Procrastinate.
Or in some dreams, when you see patterns that are just doing you in,
Ongoing, yes.
you can do something about it.
Okay.
Sometimes your dreams show you so much pain because you didn't recognize you're in pain. Like, especially for guys, it's hard to admit, I'm hurt, I'm in pain. So they'll have dreams of this terrible pain and say, who, me? And then as they talk about it, yeah, that's how I feel. You can't do much about your problem until you realize you've got it. You can't get rid of pain, usually, until you know that you've got it.
Okay.
And you move through
That's
it.
true.
When, let's say, you're really gutsy, you know, you've gotten rid of the wimp factor in your life, you'll still have dreams about the next conflict, but they're less stressful. The dreams are more, let's understand the dynamic. What's going on between you and Fred? Or between you and the secretary number 6, the one you've just met?
Okay.
Right? And you find out, hey, there's an old pattern here, but you're through that one, and you're missing an opportunity to get to know this good part of her. Sometimes you'll have these wonderful dreams of color and beauty and just wonderful
I have
stuff.
those.
You fine-tune your relationships. You come up with lots of more creative ideas because you're not working about the big problem. For example, let's say that you're married and you have this big fight with your husband before you go to sleep. Better resolve the fight before you go to sleep, because if not, you have to spend all night long dreaming about it.
Right.
And if you want to get on with your life, if you can settle that
Settle it.
problem,
Absolutely.
be honest about it, not be defensive, just deal with it, get it settled. Then you can go to sleep and maybe you dream on your career, which would perhaps be more fun than doing the old fight,
Okay.
which you have to work through again in your dream.
I would agree.
And that's a very nice sort of test to give yourself. What have I, when you write down your day notes, what unfinished business have I left in the day? Is there anything I can do about it now so I can get on to more interesting dreaming? And sometimes I need a dream on this because I'm really stuck, is the question. And that's when you incubate a dream.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How much of your dream can you control? Because I know with my reoccurring dream, like when I get in a really sticky situation, like when they have me in a corner, it's something that I do in a dream that gets me out of that. And even though I end up back where I started, like I'll be in the bus depot or in the transportation center, and then they'll catch me or they'll grab me, and I'll think of something. All of a sudden, I'll be outside again. It'll start over. How much control do we have over?
You're really asking me
Our
two
dream.
questions. Let me deal with your content of your dream. When you get out of a tight situation but you end up in the same one, that's probably a metaphor of what you do in your life. You think of smart little ways to get yourself out of the conflict for an instant, but you keep coming around to the same problem.
Okay.
Does that fit your life pattern?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the dream there. You can control your dreams to some degree. Say, next time I have this dream, I'm going to fly out the window and not worry about it. That doesn't solve a problem, but it changes your dream.
Okay.
Right? But you don't want to do that because the problem is what you want to deal with.
Okay.
Better to say, okay, next time I'm here, the bad guys are running after me, in this case the bad women, I'm going to turn around and tell them to go to hell.
Okay.
I'm going to turn around and tell them they can't do this. This is my life. You can't do it.
Okay.
Or you can turn around and say, why are you doing this to me? I know it's a dream. I can't really be hurt. Why are you, even when they're putting the daggers inside you, why do you have to do this? And you will get more insight into what's happening.
Okay.
That doesn't always work, but it often works. You can control little parts of your dream and ask the bad guys what they want.
Okay.
Okay? All right? It's fun. It's fun. And you'll read that as you keep doing your reading.
Well, we can change ourselves, but we can't change other people. She can't change her mom.
That's right. But she can
Maybe
change
that's
how
why she keeps coming back around. Because she gets out.
Well,
She's
She has to
I
confront
keep-
your mom.
In my life, I keep, instead of standing and dealing with my mother, I just pacify her for a moment and then run back around and run right back
into her. Absolutely.
Mama, with the apron strings. So instead of me, like she said, I have to stand and face her. Like when she ran up to me, which usually she runs up to me. When she runs up to me, stand there and face her and make us deal with that right there. Mama, what do you want? Right there, instead of me, because I always try to just get away from her.
And then you can probably go
And then
forward.
run, and then I'm running.
That seems to be paramount
Yeah.
with her. And that could be hindering her career because so
Oh.
much is focused in on,
Because you're always asking other people what to do.
yeah.
What should I do with my
If you can eliminate that situation with mom,
you have more of
Yeah.
your sense of yourself
move
as
on to
adult.
something else.
all
Yeah,
right?
and
You
yourself
move
as
on to the
Patrick.
next phase.
The little guy.
Little dude.
Yeah, the little duel. You brought up something I wanted to catch there. Or come around again and say, oh, here's where the dream and life become almost one. You could say in the dream, okay, Mom, what do you really want? You could say in your waking life, Mom, what do you really want? Do you want to sabotage me and my life by keeping me a little kid? She probably doesn't know that she's doing this. And you could, as an adult, talk to her, Mom, look, this is what's happening. How can we change it? You don't really want to be doing this to me, do you? What do you really want? And it might come down to, I want to feel useful in life, and when you're gone, I don't have anybody to, do good works for. And you might be able to problem solve interesting ways to get her connected in the real world with other people who need her more maternal help.
Okay.
You know, you'll come up with the ideas for the specifics, but you get the idea?
Right, right, because that's about what it is, that she feels like I'm gone, so who's she gonna cook for? Who's she gonna, even though I
She'll be
have
alone.
6 other brothers and
Right.
sisters, but who's she gonna, but nobody's home anymore, but who's she gonna?
Okay.
No,
Absolutely.
I'm not the oldest, I'm not the baby.
You're in the middle.
Okay,
favorite.
let me bring you back for a second. Tonight, we're right about at the end, that's why. Okay. So, tonight, does anybody want to incubate a dream? I want to help you formulate the question, because sometimes it helps to get someone to help you get the question specific. Anybody want to have a dream on a specific topic tonight?
Getting employed.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. What kinds of questions would you ask?
I did that once before, and you say once when you deal with an incubation, it's best to move on.
Well,
so I can't do
but
it
you
again.
still have the question. You've got already a question answered as to your problem with this, how you're going to be treated and how you're going to deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
That will change your attitude in interviews and your attitude toward going back to work again, starting again. But now what do you want to know? What is it you want to know now?
When? How soon?
Okay, you don't have a crystal ball, so that's not going to help. What could you do? What question could you ask yourself
gain.
that would set you up to either go out and find a job or get the job once you find the kind?
What can I do to
I guess we're
find a job
Okay,
immediately?
oh, was that close?
I couldn't
All right.
think of anything.
That's right. Well, you might ask a question like, what's the first next step, like the next step that I should take for finding a job? 'Cause somewhere in your head, you've got
Okay.
it out there. Okay, what's my next step to get out there and really get a job that I like?
Okay.
Something like that?
Something like that.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Right, you can't, I remember I was telling you, you can't ask a future question because
Kathy, what would you like now? You had your dream on your work. What is it you want to dream
Can
about?
you start one more time and just
Sure.
take a little more of a hesitation?
Okay. So Kathy, what would you like to have your dreams help you work on tonight?
Helping me to get a job.
Okay, what do you want to ask yourself?
When will I get a job would be the first question. It's been a while. I was laid off in April.
well, when isn't exactly something that you want to ask because you're not, unless you're psychic. And
No.
I mean, okay, when is not a question you want to ask. If you're psychic, you'll know when, but because we're not psychic, you want to ask a question of like how or what will motivate me
That's good. That's good.
Okay.
to get a job
Okay.
or something along that
Well, I'd
line.
say she's pretty motivated, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah.
Okay, well, how
What
about...
she can do differently than she's already doing?
I'm sending out resumes. I'm making personal.
Okay,
Making phone
but
calls.
let's
faxing.
form... You think you're doing everything you can right now, right?
I probably
you-
could do more. I can't think of anything.
Okay, so ask yourself, is there anything I haven't thought of that would help me get a job now? How would that be?
Okay, that's
Would
good.
that be useful?
That's useful. Then I
Okay.
can sleep on it. Right?
Yeah. So sleep on it tonight, and the way you're going to do that
Okay.
is you write it down. Is there anything I haven't thought of that would help me get a job?
Great.
You like that?
Good.
Then turn out the light, repeat the question over and over, even if the TV's on. Repeat the
Okay.
question over and over. And when you wake up, write down whatever's on your mind.
Great.
Okay. Well, good
Super.
luck. And
That's
we'll
good.
hear from you tomorrow about
Thank
that. Okay. And what about you? What do you want to do, Mary? What would you like to dream on?
I like to dream on how to solve this problem with me and my mother.
Okay. How could you phrase it? Because phrasing the question is really important.
Something about what,
How about something like, what attitude could I take when I confront my mother?
okay.
Or change it any way you
Or
want it.
something like, when I face my mother, because I'm sure I'll have this dream again, what should I do?
But or were you going to ask about when I face my mother in my dream or when I face my mother in waking life? Which are you ready to deal with?
In waking life, actually.
Okay, then let's phrase the question for waking life.
Okay.
Okay, what are you going to say to yourself when you go to
I'm going
sleep?
to say, how should I deal with my mother in waking life?
Okay.
That would be more, because if I deal with her in waking life, it will eliminate the dream.
You got it. Okay, that's great. All right, what I'd like to do now is ask each of you, what have you gotten out of these 3 days of intense dream work? Okay, what have you seen in terms of the dream interpretation process, which we're doing as a dream interview process? How is that like or different from what you expected? And then, what did you get out of it for yourself so far in your own dreams? And then, did you notice anything about everybody else's? Okay? So, Kathy, can I start with you?
Well, I noticed in listening after hearing everybody's dream and getting the final analysis that there's similarities.
What
in all of
similarities? What do you
us.
notice?
In that we all have to shed something. It's like, a snake shedding this skin and getting ready for a fresh new start.
Okay. And how about in your own personal experience, your own dreams? What have you gotten out of that?
In my own dream, the one that we had analyzed earlier,
About the secretaries who were rude.
secretaries, and of course, Miss X, my girlfriend, is being more myself. And whether or not I'm accepted, at least you get to see me as I am, not as you want me to be, or as I think you want me to be. So it's helped me a great deal.
And what do you
really
think
appreciate it.
about the way of interpreting dreams, the way you're learning it here through an interview process, compared to what you did before or thought you would do here?
It's completely different.
How?
I never would have had the correlation with that dream as being my inability to speak out on certain issues and things. I never would have reached that conclusion.
How come? What were you doing before?
I wasn't doing anything. I was dreaming and, wake up if I remember, what am I dreaming about? Why that dream?
So you didn't know what was
would be the
hiding there waiting for you
No,
to find
I
out?
never would have connected the two.
Okay. Well, that's pretty good for 3
So
days.
you showed me something and now I can work with it.
Okay, good. Okay. How about you, Marie?
Well, my two dreams, I guess they really do fit a work scenario, and I always deep down was very scared that they would have a greater personal implication and that I would have to face something I didn't want to or wasn't aware of or something. And I'm really relieved to find that it's work which I feel control over, and you deal with that. But I'm just shocked at the correlation, and I'm shocked that I had both the dreams in pretty similar time frames to each other. I mean, they were not lengthy as far as time differences. And indeed, the event was occurring then, and it was going on for a really long time, and so it did have complete connection.
Well, that's great. Okay. Have you noticed anything among us as a group, or the way dreams work?
For everyone. Everybody that shared their openness and dreams with us, I personally saw a correlation instantly. Mary especially, because I talked to her privately, and Pam, definitely correlation.
Is this how you thought you would work with dreams here at the Dream School?
No, not at all. I thought we would be given a dictionary, and a frog would mean you're going to meet a prince, and and I just thought it would be much more precise, and you would have to, what I'm more of a school kind of thing.
So why don't we do that? Now that you know what we are doing, why do you think we don't have dictionaries? These are cards that have questions on it. They don't have answers.
No, because we've always known that, but we probably never were really able to explain it. It's not a scientific thing, and what someone dreams doesn't mean it's exactly the same for everybody. And even though we, like when we were talking about the flying dreams, if people dream similar maybe concepts or topics or whatever, but they could mean different things to us individually. Flying for one person was an exuberant feeling, and flying for another person was really scary. So that's why it can't be protocol, because it's not protocol. And also within yourself, your life is not protocol. It varies and changes, and so therefore it's going to reflect metaphorically in your dreams.
Okay. How about you? What do you think about this whole process?
I'm relieved
Why are you relieved?
to find out that the frightening dreams aren't really terrifying events that are going to be happening, that you're not having a premonition or a prediction. I also think it taught me a great deal about believing in myself, that there's things that I want to do and I set out to do, and I stand back and go, and all my dreams kind of relate back to me going, and then finally, if I go, this is what I want in my life, this is what I can do this, and just having the conviction.
Without going into any detail, have you made any progress in that in the last 3 days? in concrete
Yes,
way?
we have. My husband and I had a discussion last night, and we have discussed taking some actions that will alleviate some of the pressure on me from the decisions. I'm
That's
making.
really important to remember. You've got to make real concrete steps. Mary's got to go deal with her actual mom, and you've got to deal with your family structure, and you've got to get that gum out of their mouth, and the next guy who comes along out. So that's great. And the thing is, it takes a lot of courage. You're all very courageous people to do this publicly, and then to take action, because insight doesn't require action. You can just sit there with insight and do nothing with your life, and then you have the same old dreams. Your dreams will change when you get onto a new problem or a new possibility. Any comments on other people's dreams or what you notice seeing people from the inside like this?
I think that it's interesting that so many people can be so open. And I think that you can see in each person the one little thing that is probably their greatest fear is the thing that keeps coming back up to them. You know, and it's the same sort of issue of believing in yourself and following what you should do to take care of yourself. Your dreams are teaching you to take care of you.
Yeah.
And as far as this being different from everything, I knew that actions meant certain things. You know, I knew that there would be a definition for items, especially because when you dream of something like monkeys, they're obviously not monkeys. But I never realized that when you dreamt of a specific person, that it could be somebody other or something other than that person.
Now,
So-
that person in the dream would be a symbol for somebody else in your life or for a part of yourself. Ryan was a symbol for a part of you. And some guy in the dream, like a Clinton, could be a symbol for your husband. You never know when until you find out what you have to say about the person in your dream, whether he represents the person he seems to be. Obviously, if you're dreaming about Clinton, he's not somebody in your everyday life. He probably reminds you of somebody important in your life. Yeah, that's great. That's good. What do you think, Mary? What are your thoughts on the whole thing?
Like Pam, my dream was nothing like I thought it would be. It was very scary to me when I was having it, but now having discussed it, it's really not as scary as I thought it was. It's nothing like I thought it was, thinking my mother was going to kill me one day. I think it's helping me to face the fact that I need to just sit down and deal with my mother, and then maybe other areas of my life will come into place. As far as how I've dealt with it personally, after I had that dream about the highway situation and what I need to do with my career, I've already mailed off a graduate school application. So it's time for me to go ahead and take a step and take initiative for myself, because I want to go back to school. People were like, no.
People were giving advice, no.
No, you don't need to go back to school. But as far as the way that we're doing this, I would have never, ever thought that we would do this way. Like Marie was saying, I thought it was going to come in here, there's going to be some guru that was going to read. I thought you were going to be some guru when I first saw you. I was like, look at this little lady. This little guru. And us sitting here and actually talking to each other is helping us all to really face ourselves. And, to know that within you are a dream interpreter. You interpret your own dream. So that's a real big thing.
That's neat. Okay. What do you think, Kimberly?
Well, before I came here, the only dream I ever remembered was the bubblegum dream. I would go to sleep every night, and I would sleep, and I would wake up, and I would just know that I slept, but really not have any dreams to remember. And after the first night, when the bubblegum dream was interpreted, and you taught us how to incubate a dream to answer questions and solve problems we might be having in our life, I went back, and I had two of the most descriptive, vivid dreams I've ever had in my life. And they helped me come to terms with problems that I've been having in my life and what I need to do, what steps I need to take to be happy and to find what I'm looking for. And the power that gives me just blows me away, that I have that much control in my sleeping state over my waking life, that I can just go to bed at night and think of what can I do? Where do I go from here? And know that my subconscious, while I'm sleeping, is going to come up with the answer for me. It's just, I can't even describe how I feel about that. It's just truly amazing. Truly, truly amazing. And after one night, that was just after one class. So when I read the book and go through everything and really get a grasp on this, where it's going to take me is just, I can't even imagine. So it's
Great.
been incredible.
Do you have any thoughts on watching other people's dreams? Because we're watching you're getting to see people you don't know. Suddenly, you get to find out what's going on inside them. What does that feel like?
Well, it's comforting to know that other people have their own issues that they're trying to deal with, and that they've buried those issues inside of them and have had dreams that make no sense to them or lead them in another direction. And when you're having a dream that's over and over and over again, and you're thinking one thing, and then you find out it's completely something different, it's nice to know that, oh, look, you're having the same, types of things going on in your life, and so are you. And it's nice to know that you're not the only one that's troubled by dreams. Mm-hmm. And it's also nice to discover that the dreams aren't meant to trouble you. The dreams come to you to help you resolve what's going on in your life. And that if you have the tools necessary, you'll be able to look at that dream and learn from it rather than be afraid of it. And I mean, I can't imagine where I can go from here, just knowing that I have that power now.
Yeah, well, that's great. That's why I like dreams so much,
The cover of your book, it says the power to unlock the 24-hour mind. Mm-hmm. I looked at that and I went, that is so true. It is just amazing.
Well, good. I want to see everybody in America doing this. I want to see kids taught how to do it so they know that they're sleeping minus a friend.
Well, I can't wait to go home and share this with my family and my friends, because they all said, well, I thought I was going to come here, tell you my dream, and you were going to say, that means this. And I was going to say, yay, I'm happy now. I never thought that I was going to come here and learn how to interpret not only my dreams, but have the tools and the resources necessary to go back and share that with my family and my friends, and let them see the process and experience it for themselves, because I know how I feel after these 3 days. Incredible. Mm-hmm. I just feel so incredible. I have never felt so good in my life.
I can see there's some energy there.
I mean, it's really, truly amazing. And to be able to go out now and share that with my family and friends and help them, it's
great.
It is.
Well, it's nice to see your joy. So what are your thoughts on all this, Douglas? What's it been like for you to come here and watch it and do it and try the process?
Well, these past couple of days have been very interesting for me. I really, when I would dream, it would not really
mean much to you or make...
Yeah, it wouldn't mean very much. I would dream and next day, maybe I would tell someone, maybe I wouldn't tell someone. And I would pretty much leave it at that. But out of this last couple of nights, I've learned a little discipline, and which is helpful for me, because I can be a wild spirit sometimes.
Well, you wouldn't want to lose being a wild spirit, would you?
Well, certain things.
Okay, certain ways.
Yes, I would prefer being a little settled in certain ways, and a lot of things I'll make jokes out of, and sometimes it's not good. It's a time and a place for it, and I sort of learned that over the last few days, as far as the panel is concerned. We're the same. We all dream about other things, and then we sort of look back at ourselves, and a lot of things sort of reflect back to us. And sometimes it's good, I suppose. Sometimes it's not good.
I mean, what you see is what you like, and sometimes what you see is you don't like it.
Yeah. And I was thinking about the flying dreams, where sometimes it's kind of frightening. When I first started having flying dreams, I would only go like 10 feet off the ground. And that would frustrate me, because I want to blast into space. And I took a plane ride just so I could see what it was like to go up high. And then I came back, and the next time I had a flying dream, right up I went. And I loved it, and I enjoyed it. And so, I can understand the fear, but then I was frustrated, which is sort of the same, but not really.
So, have you ever been in a group where people told their inner stuff like this?
No, never.
It's the first time for you?
Yeah.
What's it feel like?
Well, a lot of things that we talked about, I would sit back and I would think about them, and they were kind of funny and kind of weird. And some of the things that we talked about, I would go, hey, I do that. I do that myself. And it works that way.
Yeah. It's amazing how much we share, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
And I also thought that we were going to come here and I would tell you, well, I went to bed last night and I had a dream about a rock hitting me in the head. And then you would tell me it's because you're going to win $1 million.
I wish I could say that.
And that's pretty much how I thought. But I've learned a lot. And these past few nights, sleeping and thinking about it, I've been really amazed at the type of things that I go through because I look for results and be surprised at what kind of results you can find from your dreams.
Well, that's neat. So far, we're doing real well. Okay, so dream up a storm tonight. Try really hard to go through a full interpretation using your cards. Do every single step. And then fill out your nightly and your weekly questionnaire, okay? And then we'll get together tomorrow for our last session and have lots of fun. Okay. That was great. That was really interesting to hear, wasn't it?
Great.